Good afternoon. We are just hours away from the start of the 2021 Cazoo Mosconi Cup, and with me to preview the action, Matchroom Multisport Managing Director, and with Carl Boyce tied up as Europe's Vice Captain, we've upgraded and got ourselves a four-time MVP. The Terminator, Niels Feijen, is with us. Niels, great to see you. Emily, you too. But let's start with the big news from yesterday. So disappointing to learn that Earl Strickland won't be able to play the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's very obvious from this side that I think I've always been USA's biggest supporter. And from even our camp, we were so disappointed and possibly just devastated at the news. And I really felt for Team USA, and it was such a shame because their body language at the press conference, it was very down, and it was coming from both teams. But I totally understood that. I mean, they just found out, they just got the news. But they managed to turn it around, and I mean, hats off to Jeremy for just, I mean, some people might have turned around and gone, well, no, I'm not going out there, I don't think I can do it. But it was very unfortunate news. We've got rules in place. We're hosting an event in very exceptional circumstances with live crowd back, and we haven't had fans back, and we have to follow the rules. And it's a huge, huge shame. And there's no one more excited than myself to just see Earl. I've never done a Mosconi Cup with Earl. So I feel for him. He's in isolation. We're making sure he's got his breakfast, lunch and dinner and checking in with him, but absolutely devastated at it. But I just want to say credit to Team USA because they're going to turn it around.
Yeah, Niels, a word on Jeremy. He's a legend of the game, isn't he? 5 Mosconi Cup wins. I think you played against him a couple of times. He's won the US Open. For those who don't know, he's brought his queue over and he was here very late into the night practicing last night, getting ready. He's a true champion, isn't he, Niels?
Yeah, Jeremy's a great player. I played him in Malta, and I think one more time. He's always been very solid on the Team USA. I have to really give him that. So he's not coming here, getting this news and laying down. He's going to step it up. He's very proud, you know, especially for USA. I'm thinking the first day will be big for him. There's going to be massive jitters, but if he's going to get help from his teammate, he could score a point there and then get him going for the rest of the event.
Well, let's take a look at that night one lineup. Then, of course, we start with the team match as always. Both teams sending all 5 players out for that opening match. Then we've got doubles action. Albin Auschen and Eklen Kachi taking on Tyler Steyer and Chris Reinhold. Josh Filler and Shane Van Boening in an well-anticipated singles match, followed by our last doubles match, Jason Shaw and David Alcady taking on Skylar Woodward and the captain, Jeremy Jones. Niels, a word on that, the big one that stands out there, that singles match. It's a free pick, so it was always going to be a couple of giants, but Josh Filler, Shane Van Boening, that's huge.
That's a massive game. I think everybody's looking forward to that one, especially now with the fans back. Filler going out there against Shane is going to be a cracker. I think we're all looking really forward to that one.
And Emily, from a promoter's point of view, what a great night to start. We always open with that team match, which means everyone can get out in that arena for the first time here in London for a few years. Just give us an idea of what it's like in there.
Oh, I just ran down here, so I'm so excited to just get out there. It's the arena just looks, it might be one of our best arenas we've ever done. You know, we had to reduce the seating capacity, but it still looks absolutely top notch in there. And I mean, the table looks slick, the set looks just absolutely quality, and the big screens, I mean, when you tune in a couple of hours' time, it is just going to be crazy. And I can feel the goosebumps already on everyone in that arena, even just the players, starting with that team match, and you have them all lined up on the staircase waiting to come in. I mean, Niels, you've experienced it.
Yeah.
They're going to be there, and you know, all of a sudden, everything that we're doing now in the arena, even the team benches, you know, we've lost one person from the team bench because now he's coming into the arena to play. If all of a sudden you've got 5 people on Team USA and 7 from Europe, and it's quite dominating. And I really hope that there's going to be some support for Team USA there, just to, you know, get their spirits up. But I mean, they're used to this. They're used to coming to Alexandra Palace and not having the fans on their side. And I hope it's something that, you know, they kind of buy into. But geez, this is going to be absolutely unreal in there.
What is it like, Niels, coming out? You've played twice at Ali Pali. It's the biggest crowds that we have for the Mosconi Cup. What's it like at the top of that walkway?
Well, when Emily said the team match and everybody gets the goosebumps, I already get goosebumps just talking about it, because for me always the team match was, I mean, stress-wise, it's the most intense moment of the entire year. Why? Because you're basically living up to this event already for weeks, right? The anticipation, the anxiety is building up, and then you're standing on top of the stairs, and you maybe only gonna hit 2 balls, or maybe you're gonna hit 10. You got no clue. So you're going out there. I always call it the roller coaster, like an amusement park. You're going for that special ride that's doing all the loopings. You're getting in line, and you gotta wait for your turn, right? And now you're getting in there, and your blood starts pumping, and then it's like as if you have to do a speech for 1,000 people. The pressure, the anxiety, and now you got a slow roll a ball like 9 feet. I mean, it's undescribable. For me, the team match was always the biggest moment of the entire event. So if people think like, oh, they look kind of calm, there is no way they're gonna be feeling it definitely. Yeah.
Well, talking of being calm, let's take a look at the doubles matches tonight. There's a pairing that's interesting for Team USA. They're 2 least experienced players, Tyler Steyr, Chris Reinhold together. Of course, you had a little bit of experience of Tyler when he was a rookie here on the opening night a few years ago. What do you make of that pick from JJ to put those 2 guys together for the first doubles?
Well, I think they're kind of the same style. They're both pretty methodical, and I think Jeremy's, of course, looking to put Shane out in his singles, so then you have 4 players left. I'm thinking he's putting the 2 guys together that work best, I think. They must have some practice before, right? He must have seen them play and gel together, so I'm thinking it's a smart choice. I kind of like that setup, yeah.
And when you're in the practice rooms just before you go, we're backstage here at Ali Pali, and the practice rooms are right behind us. You talk about that roller coaster. That must be like the bit that when you're going up to the top, how do you just relax and steady yourself, especially when you've got 4 other guys who might all have different preparation routines?
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, there's 5 different characters, and some players, they really want to talk a lot. Some players are kind of more to themselves. I think the biggest key in a team is that you give space for everybody's own needs. So some players, I used to maybe go outside for half an hour because you're maybe here 2-3 hours before. You hit some balls, everybody gets to hit some balls, and then you're basically waiting maybe an hour before you hit some more balls. So I always like to go outside, and some players, they want to talk to their friends, so everybody's different. You got to get that energy out in your own personal way, and then when it's game time, you all come together. But that last half hour before it's kicking off, you hear that crowd. You're really a gladiator, and there's no turning back. You got to go in there. You got to do it. That's the cool part. So.
There is no hiding space here at Ali Pali, is there? I mean, it's going to be so intense for these guys this week.
I mean, there's mini cameras now in the practice rooms because it's just those practice rooms have now become. I mean, last couple of years it was, you know, anyone could go in there, but now the rivalry has just got so big, and I think that's something that Matchroom have created over the last couple of years. We've created that rivalry between the 2 teams. It's a lot more serious. I love the reference to Gladiator. I think it's absolutely spot on because that's what we're trying to create. We're going to start the DJ out there singing Sweet Caroline. We're making sure that everyone's going to be chanting, ready for the players to go out there. I mean, I just want to leave now and go and start getting it sorted because I'm so excited about it. But I mean, Niels, from your perspective, you're coming into this now and you're going to have to be totally unbiased because you're in the studio and you're giving the viewers at home the overlook of the Mosconi Cup, because there's going to be some people who are going to be tuning into Sky main event and not really know what the Mosconi Cup is, maybe not have come across it before, and you're giving that perspective to them. How are you going to be doing?
No, I think that's a good point. I mean, normally, of course, I'm always on Team Europe side, but I've played so many of them, I've seen so many of them that I can be in the box and talk about a lot of emotions and a lot of situations that are coming up, the dynamics, also the score. So it's very interesting. I'm eager to go out there and talk about the event in that way. I've never done it before, and I'm really looking forward to it. When I was traveling yesterday, I could feel the energy building up. You know, it's weird. If you go to the Mosconi Cup, I will always have that feeling that I have to go out there, and this is a different way for me, but I'm still going out there, you know, to do it. And it's just a massive tournament, and I've seen it grow from the York Hall in 2001 when we got drilled 12-1. I actually scored the first point together with Mika, and then we lost everything. And look what it's become over the years, you know. We've had so many big arenas, and I think for any player that's played in the event, you will never forget that feeling like I described, like when the 5 minutes before you have to go out there, that boom, boom, that energy of that building. And also for the fans, I mean, if there's one event that you want to go visit and where you don't have to sit still, you can go crazy, have a drink, watch the best players in the world, and see quality pool. So it's the Mosconi Cup. That's where you got to go.
I'm going to go make it louder in there now after this conversation.
One last thing before we go, the first night, Niels, there's a record that goes back a long time over the Mosconi Cup. Winning the first session, you usually end up winning the cup. How important is the start for these guys tonight?
I think tonight, more than ever, I would say it's more important for Team USA because, of course, we heard the news about Earl. We don't know how JJ's going to start out. We have no clue how he's going to play, so it would settle them a bit more if they score the first point. Having said that, for Team Europe, they want to go out there and get it crushed on day one. That's what they have to have spoken about before last night. They cannot let their foot off the gas mentally. They prepared for Earl. Earl's out, Jeremy's in. They cannot let that focus slip like, oh, now it's going to maybe be easier. They got to step it up even more. I'm sure Carl and Alex had a word with their guys. They got to come out of the gate, score that first point, crush the doubles, and then the singles, you don't know what's going to happen, and then hopefully get another doubles, they're 3-1. That's how they have to be thinking.
Okay, well, prediction time before we go. Probably a bit harsh for me to ask you for a prediction, but I guess you're hoping for a 2-2?
Oh, I always want Team USA to win the Mosconi Cup. It's, I like it to be competitive. I don't mind who wins. As long as it gets to Friday and it's competitive and everyone leaves that arena having a really good time, then I'm happy.
And prediction for you, Niels, tonight?
Tonight, I'm hoping for 2-2. I'm thinking maybe 3-1 Europe. I'm hoping for 2-2, and an upset would be 3-1 USA, but I'm hoping for 2-2.
Go on the upset.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, we will see. We are live at 6 p.m. on Sky Sports main event and on DAZN if you're in the US, Germany, Austria. Check matchroompool.com for wherever you can watch it around the world. We'll be on air somewhere near you. Michael Bridge is in for Off the Rail for the rest of the week. He'll be with Kelly Fisher and Ronnie Williams for tomorrow's preview show, so don't miss that.